Hey you, do you like anime? Well then you gotta subscribe to AnimeAaron on YouTube for awesome anime reviews, discussions, rants, theories, and more. For amazing anime content, be sure to check out and subscribe to AnimeAaron. First video goes up on Sunday. Link is in the description. What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our Week 10 battle for the APA Academy. Today we're facing off against odds are coach of the Memphis Bewears. And if you guys didn't notice, the introduction to this video was a little bit different. We actually had a bit of a promotion for our good pal AnimeAaron2420, who started his anime channel. I believe his first video should be going up today, so make sure to go on over there. The link is the first one in the description, so just go over there, check it out, subscribe to him if you enjoy the content. And yeah, look, he's really knowledgeable about anime, so I really suggest you guys give him a shot, especially if you like that stuff. Moving on though, we should try and get into this battle. So this is a very interesting game for us, mostly because if we win, I believe, one of our 3 next games, we should, in theory, clinch playoffs, because our team is doing so well. Our roster is in first place, so that means I believe 5 out of our 8 coaches make playoffs, which is amazing. Only thing is, it's a very tough challenge, because at this point, there are so many people who have such good records, so we need to do well, basically. But anyways, Odds has a really interesting team. It's not the greatest team in the world for a matchup with me, because I have Tapu Koko, and his electric resists is the Gudra, and then the Gligar for immunity, both of which are weak to ice, so I'm running a Specs Koko, which is very strong against him. But anyways, let's just go ahead and jump into it. So we have a team of Ho, Tapu Koko with Z-moves, Aegislash, Mega Latios, Dugtrio with Z-moves, Amoonguss, Miltank, Satin with Z-moves as well, Hawlucha, Bisharp, and Illumise. My opponent is a team of Mega Lucario, Deoxys Speed, Thundurus with Z-moves. There you go. It's Thundurus I with Z-moves. He also has Toxapex, Ribombee, Porygon Z with Z-moves, Gligar, Gudra, Cresselia, Crawdaunt, Mismagius with Z-moves as his last mon. I'm very scared of a few things, and he brought a lot of things I was scared of. The Deoxys Speed didn't come. I was kind of worried about that thing, even though it does hit like a wet noodle. It could be pretty strong with a Life Orb, and because of the speed it has, he can just afford to run pretty much no speed investment, outspeed my entire team. But anyways, let's just go ahead and jump into it. So the team that I am bringing for this battle, I actually worked on it quite hard, and I'm hoping that it pays off, because we have a really solid chance to win this game and just clinch our playoff spot right away. So to start off, I've made my Koko set, which is going to be Specs. We have Thunderbolt, U-Turn, Hidden Power Ice, and Defog. I originally had Volt Switch over Defog, but I decided to run Defog just in case, because I don't have it on my Latios this week. So we have Speed for Ribombee, we have Specs because his only immunity is Gligar and his only resist is Gudra, so we have Hidden Power Ice for that thing. I was going to do Momentum like I said, but I decided to swap it for Defog, and we are not 2-KO'd by Jolly Bullet Punch, or 0-KO'd by Jolly Meteor Mash, or Timid Moongeist, or timid non-boosting Psycho Boost from Deoxys Speed. So basically we can take 1 stab hit guaranteed from Lucario. We can also take 2 Bullet Punches, which is extremely good, and the Deoxys Speed, its most powerful move, cannot kill me if it's not in boosting, which is amazing. Anyways, moving on, we have our Latios, which is one of our win cons this week. We are not 2-KO'd by AnimeAaron as a knockoff, and we always 2-KO a no bulk Crawdaunt with +1 Ice Beam, and we always outspeed a +1 Crawdaunt and also Mismagius. So +1 Crawdaunt, if he goes for Dragon Dance, or let's say Scarf maybe, we'll always outspeed it, which is nice. Only thing that sucks is we are always 0-KO'd by knockoff no matter what. And the moves that we have this week is Calm Mind, Roost, Psyshock, and Ice Beam. I would have loved to run Dragon Pulse, but I just couldn't afford it. It just wasn't the best bet to run Dragon Pulse this week, so I decided to go with Psyshock instead. Next up though, we have our Seismitoad, which is an interesting set again. I worked really hard on this one specifically, even though it doesn't have many notes on it. We have Speed for Adamant Crawdaunt, and our HP and defense is so that we are never 2-KO'd by an Adamant Life Orb knockoff after I get health back from Drain Punch. And we also have Attack to always 2-KO Crawdaunt, and with Rocks Up we do always 2-KO it. So we have on this set, where is it? We have Normalium Z with Drain Punch, Earthquake, Ice Punch, and Refresh, and that is basically just to get back up to full. Our next mon is going to be our Aegislash, which has the ability for its sword form to never be broken by Scald from Toxapex or Liquidation from Toxapex if he took the -2 from King Shield. And our attack is always to 2-KO Crawdaunt at it's always a 2-KO Crawdaunt at +2, because Shadow Claws are only attacking move. We also set up on any Ribombee, and we are not 2-KO'd by Gligar's no EV Earthquake in our shield form, and the rest was put into our speed to speed creep things, creeping me. And again, we have, I think it's Sub, King Shield, Swords Dance, and Shadow Claw. Our next mon is going to be our Ho, which has speed for Gudra, special defense, so substitute, has only one rule to be broken by 12 special attack Toxapex Skull. That's the best I could have done. I don't know why I put 12 in the calc. I think it was just what was left over. And we also are never broken by a burned Toxapex Liquidation. So if we manage to burn with Sacred Fire, we can always take a hit with the sub up. Yeah, we then also have a Charty Berry on this set to take a hit from something like the Lucario Stone Edge, or I don't know, Thundurus maybe running Smackdown or whatever, or Gudra's Rock Slide. And we OHKO or 2 KO pretty much everything, and things that we don't OHKO or 2 KO, we get a free sub up against. And the rest I put into my HP and defense, by the way, and it was like 52 EVs, so it's not very much. Our next mod is going to be my Bishop here, which is my lead. Oh, I never even mentioned. Ho is dual stab, so Sacred Fire and Brave Bird with Roost and Sub. Our next mod is our Bishop, which is our lead. We have speed for Lucario when it's at -1. And the reason for that is because I'm running low sweep, which lowers my opponent's speed by 1 stage. We have knockoff to get rid of like Evilites and berries and just anything that can be annoying for our win cons. We have taunt for hazards, so especially the Toxapex. Rocks are easy-ish to deal with because I can defog them away with my Coco, but having having Toxapex up is really bad because I'm expecting Coco to just stay in and click Thunderbolt over and over, and if it's taking 12% every turn from a single Toxic Spike, where it's racking up every turn from multiple Toxic Spikes, then it's going to be a bit of a problem for us. And we have Rocks because they really help against this team, wear things down, get a guaranteed KO, or guaranteed 2 KO with Seismitoad on the CRAWDAUNT, so it's very important to have there, and just 25% to the Thundurus. And Gudra, if it's Assault Vest, is going to be taking no damage from my special attackers, so I gotta make sure I have a way to beat it. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it now, as I was moving my screen, so I don't know if you guys saw any glitching out, but whatever. So looking at the 6 that he brought, I'm kind of worried about the Gudra. I am also kind of worried about the CRAWDAUNT. I think that's the biggest threat to me. Second would be the Thundurus, and then Lucario, and then after that would be the Gudra. But that doesn't change the fact that Gudra is a big threat, especially defensively. Toxapex I'm not too concerned about. Gligar, if I get an ice move off of it, which I think Coco, Latios, and Seismitoad have, then we should be fine against that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into it and lead off with my Bishop here, as I can either get up rocks, stop him from setting up his hazards, or just knock off an item, which would be very important. So he goes and leads off with his Thunder, so I'm just going to fire off a knockoff here. That seems to be going hard into his Toxapex, and we do a clean chunk of damage. We do 35% to it, which is amazing. Get rid of his Black Sludge, and I'm going to fire off a Taunt now, so he can't set up a Toxic Spike. Unfortunately for me though, he goes for the Scald. It really sucks because he gets the burn, so already we are like on the behind foot, and this really sucks because now he can use me for setup fodder. I'm going to go for Stealth Rocks here though, kind of hoping he stayed in, went for the Scald, but unfortunately he just goes into the Thundurus, and that really sucks because I would have liked to have the 25% off on him, as I can now go for a low kick, which is a huge misplay. My play should have been, I went for a knock, my play should have been to go for a low sweep. That way I would have outsped the next turn and been able to fire off a knockoff as well, but I don't know why I didn't do that honestly, and it ends up costing me. Now the thing is, I'm going to pause it because had I gotten the low sweep off, I probably wouldn't have gone to this. I probably would have gone to my Latios and just set up a Calm Mind, because an Ice Beam should have KO'd him. He would be afraid of that, or a Draco would have KO'd him, or basically anything would have KO'd this Thundurus. So a bit of a misplay there, not going for the low sweep. Anyways, I go into Coco here because I outspeed, and I can fire off a Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt will get the KO on this thing. It does more damage to everything, and he goes into his Gudra here. So Gudra is going to take like 26-27% from this thing, because it's a crit, and that shows me he's definitely Assault Vest. I'm very confident in that. I go into my Latios expecting a ground move. He goes for Thunderbolt though, and he gets the Paralysis, which is absolutely freaking massive. This is one of my win cons, and it's now neutered completely. It's awful. I go into my Coco expecting the Dragon move, and now I'm going to U-turn out and go into my Seismitoad expecting the Electric move again. So I'm expecting that, but he ends up going for the Earthquake here. So interesting. He's playing around me pretty well. I go into my Ho here, putting the Power Whip, and actually just scouting for it, and yes, he ends up going for that. So now we revealed all of his moves, and we know he does not have a way to hit Ho for extreme damage with the Rock Blast, or with the Rock move. And I will outspeed with the fact that I have tons of speed EVs, and I'll be able to go for Brave Bird and get the KO on him. So that's amazing. That's one threat to my Coco gone. But in comes the Thundurus here, which is very scary against me, and at this point I just have to sack off my Latios. There's really nothing I can do. I'm kind of hoping that maybe he's Z Thunder, Z Electric, because he revealed to be Z move because there was no item knocked off against him. But he reveals to be the Z Dark Pulse, so that's going to be able to get the KO on me no matter what. There's nothing I could have done in that situation. And at this point, I can go back into my Coco, and I actually end up making a huge misplay, which is not going for Thunderbolt here. Thunderbolt is my play no matter what, and I'll explain why a bit later. So I go for Hidden Power Ice here, predicting the Gligar to come in, and ends up being the Toxic Spike, which really sucks because if he goes for a Sticky Web, a Toxic Spike now, that's going to really hurt my abilities against this thing. But he ends up switching back out into the Thundurus, and I don't expect it to have Grass Knot. I expected it to have maybe a Rock move, but no, he ends up having the Grass Knot. That's a guaranteed KO on the Thunder, on the what's called Toxic Rover. There's nothing I could have done. But anyways, I go into my Coco here again, and I click Hidden Power Ice again. And again, there's no reason for me to go for that move, and I'll explain why right now, because he goes into his CRAWDAUNT. If I go for the electric move, great. I go for the electric move, and it ends up getting the KO on whatever. If he goes into the Gligar on the electric move, I just switch out and I go into something else to take the hit. I go into my Ho, I go into whatever. Ho can set up pretty freely on this thing unless it has the Rock move. And if it has the Rock move, okay, fine. Eventually I'll just get the Sacred Fire burn on you, I'll neuter you a bit more. So that was kind of my play there, but for some reason I decided to just keep clicking HP Ice, predicting it to come in. I guess it's because if it did go down, I outgo the rest of his team, but just a damn big misplay. But at this point in time, HP is going to do nothing to this thing, so I have to switch out. It's going to be like 30%, so I switch out into my Aegislash here, expecting to go for Swords Dance or Dragon Dance, which he does, and I'm now going to go for the King Shield, expecting to go for an attack. If he Dragon Dances again, I lose, but I have to go for it. I can't risk it. So I go for King Shield here as he goes to the knockoff, and now he's at -1 attack. At this point in time, expecting the knockoff, I'm going to go into my Coco here, but for some reason, I don't know why, he ends up going for the Crab Hammer. I guess he maybe expected Ho, I don't know, but to me there's no reason for him to go for that Crab Hammer. And I switch back out into my Aegislash here to take the Aqua Jet. And maybe that was a misplay. Maybe, I'm not sure. I might have lived the Crab Hammer at -1 with my Ho, but I don't know. Maybe I should have sacked off the Coco. I don't know anymore. But because he's not Life Orb, obviously, so maybe he's a Splash Blade or something, I don't know. But anyways, knockoff comes out, brings us down to 86. I definitely expected him to go for what's it called? A Dragon Dance here. That's why I didn't click the King Shield, and I'm going to click King Shield now, as what do you know, he ends up going for the Dragon Dance this turn. So we lost a couple 50-50s here, and I kind of expected it to happen at some point because it's Aegislash, it's kind of what it does. It forces 50-50s, and you get them wrong, well, then you basically lose. But I was really salty about the para on my Latios because my Latios was primed to be in an amazing position right there. I go into my Latios on the Gudra. If I click Calm Mind, there's nothing he can do to me because his only attacking move to hit me super effectively is the Dragon Claw or Dragon Pulse, which would do nothing to a +1. What is it called? I'm trying to think the name of it. Latios. I can just keep setting up over and over, and eventually, unless he goes into the CRAWDAUNT, I would be able to have a chance to win. And I don't know. It was a rough chance, but the thing is, at least I wouldn't be able to get the damage off on the CRAWDAUNT had that not happened. But it is what it is. We end up losing this game 4-0, which is absolutely heartbreaking. I know for a fact had I not been powered, it definitely would have been, if we either would have won or would have been a much closer game. He didn't even use the Gligar or the Lucario. He used the Toxic Spikes just to burn one mana and take one hit, which in hindsight didn't really matter at all. So yeah, we lose this game 4-0. GG to odds. Make sure to let me know your answer to the comment question. Make sure to let me know your answer to the comment question down below, which is what do you prefer for layouts, whether it's those moving sprites that are always have like the game animations, like you see what CRAWDAUNT's doing, the little dances doing. Would you prefer that? Would you prefer what I have on the screen right now? Or if you prefer Pokemon Shuffle sprites? Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check out AnimeAaron on YouTube, and I will see you all next time.